Welcome back to the second episode of this series. A month has passed since I filmed the first video, and I gotta say, I still feel really good about my decision to relearn Japanese. This month, I was just really focused on figuring out where I was kind of at, how much I still remembered, and then building upon that and working from there. I also spent some time to reconnect with some old friends from Japan actually, and that was such a joyful experience, and I'm so glad I started this project. Let me give you a quick rundown of all that I studied in February though. So as I said in the first episode, I downloaded a vocabulary deck and it was sorted by words for the JLPT levels. I started going through the N5 and N4, and most of those cards I just suspended. There were a few words, especially country names, that were written in kanji that I didn't always remember, so I just kind of learned those. But for the most part, I remembered a lot of words. In the N3 deck, I started to notice that there were a lot more words that I kind of remembered, and I knew that I had once known them, but I just needed a little refresher on either the kanji reading or all the meanings of the word. So in the N3 deck, there were a lot more words that I repped. I then moved on to the N2 deck, on which I'm still working right now. And I noticed that with that deck, another problem came up that I didn't have in any of the previous decks. A lot of the words in the N2 deck I had seen, but I hadn't acquired before. So when I got to those words, it was basically like learning a completely new word. I haven't started the N1 deck at all yet, and I think with so many new words coming in through the N2 deck, because I'm doing 25 cards a day, I think I will push back the N1 deck until I'm actually done with the N2 deck. For anyone curious, I spend about 30 minutes a day on reviewing my cards, which I just do while watching a YouTube video or watching a stream, so that I don't only have to do Anki, because that would literally drive me crazy and I would probably not continue learning Japanese, I'm gonna be honest. And then I just want to say a few words about my reading experience so far as well before moving on to what I'm gonna do in March, because there are some challenges coming up that might kind of throw me off the track, whatever you get thrown off of. I said that I wanted to finish Kimi no Na wa, and I did indeed accomplish that, but it was so hard in the beginning. I would sit there and I would try to read the sentence, and for a lot of the kanji I could still remember the meaning, but finding the readings for some of these kanjis, I was like staring at them for 30 seconds and it felt like some kind of fog in my brain would cover the reading, and I would stare at them and I knew that I knew those readings, but I just couldn't remember them. And I would just stare at them and hope that the reading would finally pop up in my head, which sometimes it did, sometimes it didn't. So I just looked it up with Migaku, super quick, super easy. Honestly, Migaku made this whole experience so much nicer, but I really tried to remember the readings as best as I could and to not rely overly on just looking up every single word, because I know it's just something I gotta practice and I gotta keep doing again and again, because I know that the readings are still there in my head for a lot of the kanjis. I also noticed that in the beginning, I got tired of reading Japanese pretty quickly. Like, I would read for 10 minutes and I would kind of get tired, I couldn't focus anymore, and I had barely finished like 1 or 2 pages. But then as the days went on, and especially from I would say the 3rd week onward, I could read 30 to 40 minutes without much problem. And I think that is honestly so much improvement. I'm still gonna work on longer reading sessions, which has always been a bit of a problem for me in Japanese, but I'm hoping that just having that consistent reading habit, or at least starting to build that consistent reading habit, will help me sit through longer reading sessions. So February, first month back to learning Japanese, felt really good honestly, and I didn't study every single day. I don't think that is necessary, but I would say that I have a pretty good idea where I'm at now. I am on a good way to building some good habits for learning Japanese from here on, and I'm excited for the months to come. Speaking of which, March is coming up, and I have a feeling it will be quite a challenging month when it comes to keeping the momentum for my Japanese, because I will be flying to the US to visit Cole, and then usually when I do that I lose all momentum that I have for anything I do, because flying there takes a day out of my life. I then fight jet lag for at least 3 days, and by that time I feel like a lot of momentum is already lost. As if that wasn't enough, we will also be going somewhere else, and I don't know if I want to bring my laptop with me to learn Japanese while I'm on vacation. I will try to bring some physical books, but I'm not sure whether I have the resources, the time and energy to focus on improving my Japanese during that time. With that being said though, I already know that March is going to be a challenging month, so I had to find something that would keep me motivated and keep my momentum going throughout the rest of the month. So I found the TADOKU challenge, which I think is amazing. I love challenges. I am very competitive when it comes to reading challenges especially, and I think that this is the solution to my problems. The TADOKU challenge is essentially on a website where you sign up and then you track what you read every day or whenever you have time to track it. And you get different points based on what you're reading. If you're reading a book or a novel, for example, then you get 1 point per page that you read. And if you play a game, for example, you get 0 point whatever points per each screen that you play through or something. I don't know how exactly it works because I will mainly be reading books and maybe websites, but I am hoping to do really well in that challenge. At first I thought, maybe top 100 would be pretty nice, but then I noticed that last time the challenge was going, there were only about 112 people that even signed up, so top 100 would not be very impressive. So I will try to get in the top 10. And I know the top 10 people are crazy, they're reading so much, but I want to challenge myself. I haven't yet decided what I'm gonna read. There are currently 2 books on my to-read list, one of which is apparently very disturbing, but I'm gonna just give it a try, see how it is. And if you have any recommendations, then feel free to let me know in the comments, and I will make sure to at least give them a try, because I'm struggling finding good books in Japanese that I genuinely enjoy. Yeah, March is gonna be really challenging. It's also gonna be a lot of fun, and I hope that in about 4 to 6 weeks, when I'm back to Germany and my semester has started, I have made more progress, I have not lost my momentum, and I will have actually improved my Japanese. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.